Well, millions of jobs lost to the coronavirus pandemic leads to a frightening new statistic. A new survey by WalletHub shows nearly half of all Americans, 44%, are going into more debt because of the crisis. And the study ranks Tennessee 7th in the nation in the number of people who have applied for a new loan to help them survive the pandemic. Stacey Hyde of Memphis has just been named by Forbes a top financial advisor in the U.S. So, Stacey, you seem like a good person to give us some advice. We all remember the financial crisis of 2008. And one of the good things that came out of that, according to financial advisors, was that Americans realized that pulling out the plastic really is a problem, and our debt load per household really went down. Now, it's been creeping up a little bit, but first of all, give us the big picture of why going into debt is just really a train that you don't want to stay on for your household.
Well, thank you for that. And I think that it has to do with, it's really stress and it's worry. When you look at what causes relationships to break apart, what causes people to have health issues, financial stress is very much one of the leading causes of all of those problems. And so if you can just reduce the amount of payments that you have each month, you just have a lot more freedom and flexibility.
So now, though, of course, we're in a crisis, and sometimes you need to do whatever you need to do to keep from going under. What's your best advice for folks who maybe have lost a job, don't really see, their employment situation coming back as strong as it was a couple of months ago, to try to stay afloat without getting in too much of a challenge for later?
It really is a good idea to take a look at your bank statements and your credit card statements and see what's going on. Maybe you have a lot of streaming services. Maybe you can cut down on those. Maybe, it's summer and there's no live sports, so maybe you could cut back on your TV subscription, cell phone plans, not having the latest and greatest. And really, as we are spending a lot more time at home and cooking and doing stuff like that, that can save a lot of money, and it really will help you conserve more than I think that people realize.
A lot of people may hear, those ideas and think, yeah, but that's just $20, or that's just, $14.99 a month. So it's not really going to help me. But how do you convince people that it really does add up, those little dollars?
Well, when you sort of sit down and you look at, how much was your credit card bill last month, how much came in on your income side on your bank account, how much went out, where is that going? Is there some stuff that maybe you don't need? Maybe you can go on to resale sites like Poshmark and maybe sell some extra stuff you don't need. Maybe have a socially distant yard sale to raise some money to get those payments paid off. We do have, if you are paying student loans and you have a federal student loan, you actually have a holiday from those payments right now, so you can take that money and apply that to some other bills you may have and try to get those down, which is all the more reason, as you said earlier, to try to avoid carrying a balance on your credit card, because it really does hurt when times get tight.
And there, of course, are mortgage mitigation programs out there as well. Typically, though, 90 days, and we're at about the point where that's going to end. What's your best advice for folks who are facing a huge balloon payment? Do you think mortgage companies will be amenable to the idea of stretching those payments out? Because I know a lot of mortgage companies are saying, okay, your 90 days is up, now you owe me the entire last 4 months at once. What would you say to folks in that situation? What should they do?
In something like that, I think that you've really got to work with your lender and don't avoid the phone call. Try to work with them, because a lender doesn't want a lot of loans in foreclosure either. That doesn't help them. That hurts. And as you've said on an earlier broadcast, you know, the courts are really backed up right now, so they can't really get to court to get a foreclosure notice and do some stuff like that. So they're incented to work with folks as well. And I think that as the economy starts to open up some and people can get back to work, you know, showing a good faith effort that you want to make those payments will go a long way.
So is it even better not just avoiding the phone call or not avoiding the phone call, but to actually make the phone call before they call you and just be a little more proactive?
And what you'll often find is they have a certain amount of money or reserves they've set aside for those. And in many cases, like the first round of PPP loans, the people that were ready for those first, they had all their ducks in a row, they got those early. And so you want to make sure that you can take advantage of those. And also the city of Memphis and Shelby County also has some programs that you might be able to take advantage of as well.
All right. The point is start looking, be proactive, and calm down. Thank you so much, Stacey. Appreciate your expertise and your advice.